Good morning, everybody, here on a Sunday morning playing some craps. And today we're talking about getting in and out of hands as quickly as possible, getting prepared for our big trip coming up that we are taking in Iowa. And we're going to be utilizing Crapsee today in case you guys at home want to follow along with us. So we got some exciting plans coming up. We've got Iowa coming up here on the 27th and 28th of February. We'll be leaving March 1st, but then the following weekend, that would be March 6th and 7th, we're actually going to be playing here in Kansas City. So back-to-back weekends, doing group meetups, having some fun, playing craps with the boys, hanging out, and having a good time. So we've got two really large weekends coming. Plenty of opportunities for you guys to join us, meet up with us, hang out with us. We're going to be playing at the Isle of Betancourt on Saturday, February 28th. That's going to be a big portion of where we are going to be playing. And if we're going to be jumping around, there's one other casino that we're possibly looking at playing at. And so we're trying to get all that scheduled and figured out and making sure that everybody's plans coordinate, got somebody flying in, and so on and so forth. So we're going to get all that squared away. But today we're playing craps, Crapsee code. I put it up in the comments, F8C8R7 is our code. You're going to come in. We're going to go with a $1,500 buy-in. And I went ahead and did unlimited buy-in rebuys for this, just for the simple fact, if you guys want to experiment or play big or just be degens. My goal today is essentially to get some money on the table, get it off as quick as possible, and then build up and see if we can't get ourselves in a position coming up for our trips. So today, you guys are going to play along in Crapsee. I'm going to play with chips here, but I will keep track of the rolls in Crapsee so that you guys can follow along. We're starting off with the same amount. I've got $15 or $1,500 here. You guys got $1,500. So I'm just going to start off kind of light-ish. I'm just going to go 110 on the inside with a quarter on the pass line. I'll go 50 on the pass line odds. And I'm just essentially going to use this just to kind of get a feel for how the table is doing. Is it going to be choppy? Are we going to be able to hedge our bets? Is it going to be one of those kinds of tables? So on and so forth. So let's get a feel. 110 on the inside, 25 on the pass line. I am going to go ahead and get going here in Crapsee. So our first roll coming out here. Good morning, Clint. Thanks for joining us in. If you guys want to join Crapsee, I'm going to put the code up here one more time. Here, let me back out of this so that you guys can jump in. The Crapsee code for today is F8C8R7. So let me try that in, F8C8R7. There's our Crapsee code. Please feel free to jump in, jump aboard, have some fun. Let's see if we can't spend up some money. So I've got Crapsee up. I'm going to go ahead and get the first roll going. Remember, your goal today is to get your money on the table, get it off in 2 to 3 hits if possible, and then build up for bigger progressions and so on and so forth strategies. So let's get the dice out. I've got them down here waiting for us. I'm going to grab all 5. Went with a different camera angle today. I've been noticing a couple of other folks who have their camera kind of angled like this so that you can kind of watch what they're doing. Thought I'd try it. Fiber optics down until Monday minimum, or I'd hop on. Oh, no, Clint, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. Hopefully you get your internet squared away. So we're going to start off with a 3-5-6-4 just for the come out roll. Here we are. That gives us aces in both places to start. Wow, was not expecting that, but we'll take it. I had to switch my ring real quick. Let's quarter here. I can't have my ring on my left hand. It grabs the table when I'm going like this. So if I have it right here and I go to, yeah, you can see how it would grab. And it's one of those, what do they call it? Not rubber, but rubber type material on it. All right, so we got aces. Let's go ahead and continue on. 3, 5, 6, 4. Let's set a point here. Oh, that was a nice feel. 6, 4. That'll work. 10. So let's mark our 10. We don't have anything on the 10 currently. Remember, we're just doing 110. I am going to go. So if I've got $50 here on these or 100, I want to go double of what I have on here. So I'm going to make it 50 with a quarter pass, quarters across, 110 total. Thank you, Clint. Silicone. I knew the name. It's one of those things when it's on the tip of your tongue, you can't follow or spit it out. 6, 4, 10. I got to remember to put it in Crapsee. All right. So there's our 10. Guys, go ahead and get your bets in. I'm going 110. I just want to, like I said, get a feel for the table. Aces, then 10. I know, right? It's kind of weird. Kind of a crazy setup. All right. So 110 on the inside, 25 on the pass, 50 on the pass line odds. Dice are moving. I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to just spray and pray. I want to actually try to target these numbers because this will also allow me to know how well I am doing with my dice control as well. All right, here we go. We're going 3, 5, 1, 5. That should target 4s and 10s. Two, 4, 6. So that works. Aces never got into Crapsee. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Clint. I'll get that put in there. All right, 6. That is going to pay us 35. Let me go ahead and I'll put the 2, 4, 6 in now. And then I will go ahead and I'm just going to do this real quick. Go ahead and pop those aces in real quick. Thank you, Clint. I apologize. I didn't get those aces in. There we go. All right. So that's going to pay me 35. Now, in doing this, I want to jump up as quick as possible without any kind of power press because I don't want to add any more money to this. However, I want to try to build it up just enough on those 4 numbers. That way I can get off into 2, 3 hits, right? So if I hit 6 again, that'll pay me 70, and then I can take the 30 off. That gives me 100, and then I'm only in the hand for $35. All righty, here we go. Point is still 10, 3, 5, 1, 5. Let's get our dice going. All right, here we go. 3, 5, 1, 5. Looking for the 10. That is a 3, 6, 9. 9 is going to pay me 35. Now, this is where I was talking about pushing up max. So I'm going to make it 60 instead of making it a traditional 50 because that'll pay me 84. If that hits and then I remove 30, we're well out of the hand at that moment. All right, so let's go ahead and mark the 9. And let's move our dice. Slide it down. Now, obviously, if we hit a 10 right here, we're also going to go ahead and regress our 9 and 6 back down, and we're well out of the hand. Okay, here we go. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Looking for that 10. 3, 5, 1, 5. There is a hard 4. We'll take a hard 4. I don't have anything on it, but it is nice to go ahead and get that number out of the way. That way we know we're hitting it. And more importantly, with the 3, 5, 1, 5, a hard 4 is a primary hit. So we are happy to see that. Grab our dice. We'll go ahead and slide down. Now, sometimes I will utilize like a field bet here, but since I'm at the only at the quarter level, I typically will refrain from doing that until I get to about the $100 level or the $75 level, just because I want to be able to push and not hurt my pushing by adding a field bet in. All right, here we go. 3-5-1-5. Although argument can be made that if I'm hitting my primary rolls, it would be beneficial to do that. All right, here we go. Looking for a 10 or a repeater. A 6-5 yo. Let's mark that in. Actually, it's a 5-6 yo. Oh, I forgot to put it in the or start the bets. I apologize. There's our yo. So let's mark it. Doesn't do anything for us. That's 2 field bets in a row I could have gotten on. But again, I don't want to hinder myself when it comes to those bets until I picked up the 5, 6, and 8 up just a little bit so that I don't strand myself on not being able to press. Hey, Fuzzy. Welcome in, sir. We're just working on our regression styles, making sure that we get off in as few hits as possible and then allow us to basically press to the moon. 3-5-1-5, looking for a repeater or our 10. I guess that's kind of a repeater because we've already hit it once. Oh, they kissed. There's our aces again. Hopefully you had the field bet there, right, Clint? That would have came in kind of handy. Aces are already covered. We need a 3, 5, 8, and 12 midnight for the alls. I didn't play them because this being the first throw, typically the first 2 to 3, I won't ever play the ATS just because it's one of those things. It's like getting a feel for the table. You ever play with the 6-5-5-4 set? You know, I have, and it's something that I've been kind of messing with. I'm actually going to mark that one down, Brad, because that's another one. 6-5-5-4. 5-5-4. All right. I had been playing with a 3-5-6-4 for the 5s and 9s kind of quite a bit recently, just trying to get a feel for that. And I really like that part, that set. Okay, here we go. 3-5-1-5. Looking for the 10. Yeah, that does make sense, Clint. Unless you're doing that type of an iron cross situation. 3-1-4. Okay, that's the second time we've hit the 4. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quarter and stick it on there. A lot of times, you know, especially if I'm playing the 5 through 9, Clint, even if I'm not playing the iron cross, as long as the 5, 6, and 8 qualify me to do an iron cross, I will add the field bet because it will cover your 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, and your 2. So the field bet has its place as long as you are able to cover yourself and then still be able to do what you want to do. The field also will cover you from blanket if it's craps number. Yep, I just said that, Fuzzy. Just wondering because some people say it's good for inside numbers. Sometimes I hit a lot of inside numbers with it and other times a lot of outside numbers. Yeah, and that's the thing about it, Brad, is that the dice are ultimately going to do what they're going to do, and you can't really truly control the dice. You can try to influence them, and if you're noticing that your dice set is not giving you what, quote unquote, it's intended for, maybe you need to revisit your grip and the velocity of your throw. So those are the types of things that you really need to think about. If you have a dice set that's not working for you, start breaking it down. Why is it not working for me? Am I throwing too hard, too high, too low? Is my wrist twisting in any way, shape, or form? Do I have a good firm grip on the dice? Am I too firm? Those are all things you need to take into consideration. There is a 3-4. All right, so we're out of this hand. That was a lot of talking, and I didn't do a lot of rolling. So we'll reset this. We're out quite a bit on that one. Well, not quite a bit. 135, 160, 210 is what we lost on that hand. All right, let's try again. Just going to stay with the 110 on the inside. There's no sense in trying to push for a bigger agenda at this point in time because we saw what the first hand did. And so we want to try to get past that. All right, let's put $50 here. And that'll be for our pass line odds. Let's grab our dice. Let's throw again. Hey, Skill, good morning. Welcome in here today. Can you try the 6554 because I'm curious what you hit with it? Sure, I would love to do it. Let's do a no roll. Oh, let me put this 3-4 in here from that previous roll in Crapsee. All right, guys, if you want to join Crapsee, please feel free to do so. The code for Crapsee is F8C8R7. So if you'd like to jump in, please feel free to jump in. All right, we're going to try this 6554. I'm going to try just a dry roll. I kind of want to get a feel for it. So this is not going to count, just getting the feel. So it looks like it's going to be from 9s, yos, 3s, and 5s are the primaries. Let's see what we get. Should give us a lot of horn numbers, I would think. That's a 314. Let's try it again. 6554. That's a 268. Let's try one more. 6554. That is a 134. So it looks like I'm hitting primaries numbers. So it might be something to do for like a come out roll. I need to get a little bit tighter. And you know what? Brad, I'm going to go ahead and go with that 6554 for the entire roll. I want to do a full roll with it. All right, so we got our dice are ready. If you guys want to jump in, I'm going 110 on the inside with $25 on the pass line. Dice are moving. Oh, by the way, if you don't have your cup of coffee, better grab it. Good morning, Waylon, Alicia. Guys, good to see you. Waylon, you better tell Alicia I said good morning. Otherwise, I'm going to tell her and she's going to get mad at you. All right, here we go. Brad wants us to do a 6554 for an entire roll. He didn't say doing an entire roll, but I'm going to do it. Let's see what we get here. That is a 426. We'll take it. Oh, I forgot to reset my tracker. There we go. All right, so 6 is our point. Now we're going to take 50 because, again, I want to double what I have as my base bets. So 50 for my pass line odds of a quarter. And then we want to try to get out in 2 to 3 hits. Hey, Badlands, good morning, sir. Everybody's coming in. Glad to see everybody. I hope everybody is having a fantastic Sunday morning. 6554. Seeing a lot of folks here who I'm going to be seeing face to face, some for the first time. Here coming up at the end of this month. I'm very excited. There is a 156 mixer. That's the point. We buckshot it. Awesome. All right, so this is going to pay us 60 on the backside, a quarter on the front. This is going to pay us $35. Now, I'm only going to press with the number line or the number hit. This I'm going to actually use to collect. So I just made $75, $85, $90. So that is a nice chunk of change. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop this down to 110 again, put the 30 in, and I am out of the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 150 plus another 20 is 170. There's 110 plus a quarter. We're out. Yay. All right, so now let's play. Let's see what we can do. Happy post-Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day weekend to everybody. Yes, I completely agree with you, Skill. Oh, I never put that roll in. Guys, I got to do better about this. Sorry, I'm doing 3 things at once. So we got a 6. We're going to set our point, and then we hit a 6 again. Yell at me if I miss my entering into Crapsee. So I'm very sorry, guys. I want to make sure that I get this in because I want you guys to be able to participate with me while we're playing along. And I probably, here coming up in the future, I might get like a wireless keyboard to set up like over here, down here where you're seeing my hand by the field. Put a wireless keyboard there with a wireless mouse and see if I can't do it that way, just to make sure that I get you guys included. So I apologize. We're moving dice now. Point is off. We are now officially out of the hand. The first roll was a bust for us. But Brad's 6554 is coming in clutch for us. Playing with profits and being out of the hand is always best. Agreed. And here's the thing that I've really been working with on one individual, I will not name their name, is that they like to turn their bets off early. So I've really been working with them about getting their bets onto the table off and then working out a system to where he feels comfortable on betting. So let's say, and I know I need to get back to rolling, and I apologize, but let's say that he gets to the point where we are right now. He just got his money off the table. He's in a comfortable position. And one of the things that he had said to me is that, man, Bob, it's just a lot of money, and I don't want to risk it. I don't want to put myself in a bad position. I was like, you know what? That's a fair point. So I got my money here. I've gotten off the table. And what I told him is, hey, if you're at a $10 table and you're playing craps and you've gotten to the point where you're ready to turn your bets off, pull your bets down, put minimum across. And then, so say he does that minimum, and I'm gonna show. So let's just say it's a $10 table, right? And he's got his 10s and 12s here. And I was like, okay, so now that you have it set up like such, if you're at that point that you're off and you're rolling and you're having a good time, let's do it like this. Hey, a 4 hits, right? If he's got 10, that pays 20, right? I was like, now that that happens, just put a nickel on it, put the rest of it in your rack. And then every time you hit, just increase it the minimum. And he's like, okay, that makes sense. So I'm waiting to hear from him to see if that system worked out for him. I am excited to hear about that because he is one of those players that will be very conservative at times. Let's see. This is for heavy players. If you feel that way, you don't play craps, go to the slot machine. If you're scared to have 1/10 out there, bro, it's over for you. True. No, and you know what? And Waylon, scared money never made a penny. If you can't afford to lose it, don't take it. No, and here's the thing, guys. I completely agree with all of your comments. But here's the thing. He is one hell of a shooter. He's got really good control with his dice. He's got really good control with his temperament and when he's rolling and when he sevens out. His biggest thing is that he's just hesitant when it comes to betting. So we're working on it together. And let's see here. What'd you say? And you lose playing table minimum. That's why they got that shit table minimum so that they could drain you slow. No, and you are right, Badlands. You are right. But see, if he gets to that point where he gets his money off the table and he moves all his bets to a minimum and then just increases it $5 for every time it hits, it puts him in a position where hopefully he feels comfortable because if I'm going 110 and then all of a sudden I move to, what is that, $64 across, He's made a profit. He's got himself a buffer, and now he's just passively collecting money. Think of it like the 1 for 50, where you sit there and you order your adult beverages all night, and you just throw dollars, and they throw you $50 every time. Kind of that feel. So I'm really working with him and hoping that he can get himself in a position that he feels more comfortable. All right, 6554, dice are out. Let's roll. That's a lot of talking for me, guys. I apologize. Come out, roll. 2x4. Yes, I agree with you, Waylon. And there we go. And that's one thing that I've really been working with him on, is that he is absolutely super confident when it comes to playing craps. It's just his betting. And so it's not so much. Oh, you're taking lots of notes. So it's not so much about his abilities or his confidence or lack of confidence. It's just he's apprehensive. He's very much not a penny pincher, but somebody who is very conservative with their money. And I respect that as a player. All right, here we go. 6554. Brad coming in clutch, giving us a dice set to play with today. Here's our next toss. That is a hard 10. How about that? Like those hard 10s. Now, we don't have anything on the 10. I'm not worried about it. That's our second time we've now hit it. But that's the first time since we reset it, so I'm just going to leave it as such. Oh, I did forget to put my $50 down on my pass line odds. Don't forget that. So we got, whoop, knock the dice over. There is our hard 10. Our point is 6. And Brad, I know you want me to do the 6554. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start attacking my points. So I'm going to go 3531. Here is our next toss. Oh, let me. Okay, good. I did hit it. That is a 4, 6, 10. All right. Oh, I forgot the 5, 5 over here. Go ahead and get your bets in. All right, so that's the second 10 that I've hit since the reset. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a quarter up here. We'll leave it right there. So far, 6s and 10s are a hot number for us on this table. All right. Let me get the second 10 in real quick. I apologize again. There we are. All right. Go ahead and get your bets in. Dice are moving. I am going to stay with the 3531 because I do want to target my 6. I like this 6554, Brad, and it is something that I'm going to continue to work with. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Let's go for a 6. Here's our next toss. And hopefully Clint can see that I've been working on my toss with this left hand. 314. All right, that's the first one of those that we've hit since the reset. Let's mark the 4 in Crapsee. 4 easy. Take our dice. We'll go ahead and slide them down. You know what? I think I am going to go ahead and throw a quarter on the 4. Now, the bad thing about this is now I've only got $70 in the rack. That's why I don't like pressing until I get some hits. But those 4s and 10s are coming up pretty often, so I am going to go ahead and mark it. Yeah, I was just curious what you'd hit with that set. Yeah, no, I agree, Brad. And I think that dice set could have a time and a place, and I'm gonna continue working with it. I do tend to like that. It reminds me a lot of my what is that 4551 type of set. All right, here we go. 3531. Let's see if we can't hit that 6. Oh, they kissed. 3-4. Saw it coming. Yeah, as soon as they hit, I heard the kiss, and that's in a sense a kiss of death. So we overextended, and we did make some money back, but we did not get out of the hand like we had hoped. All right, let's try again. 110 on the inside. So I've burned through my 500 almost, and I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I've got 1,020 left in the rack. Stick with the set. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, we're going on the come out. I am going to use Brad's 6554 for the come out. I guess I kind of need the dice. Tray, dump them all out. What do we get? There's 2 4s. We'll take that. 6554. That gives us a 1 4 5. It's because you went up to on the 10 and 4, bro. When you press your bet, your next 2 toes should be. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right. 1 4 5. Got a new point. I'm going to put 50 on the pass line odds. So let me grab some change. There we go. We are set. Point is 5. I already know what my dice set's going to be. It's going to be a 3 5 6 4. Dice are moving. I've got about 4 different dice sets that I like to use depending on what my point is. So I think this is something that I'm going to continue to do when I head out to Iowa. That's a 2 by 4 6. That's a good number. It's a lumber number. So that pays us 35. I'm just going to take it up to 60. Rack the 5. Easy peasy, right? Lemon squeezy. Dice are moving. So that's hit number 1. I would love to hit another 6 right here. Our point is 5, so we're going 3 5 6 4. That is a 415 truck and camper. That's our point. Now that's going to pay us 75 on the backside, a quarter on the front. That's going to pay us 35 here. So I'm going to take the 70, or excuse me, the 100, and I'm going to rack it. So we're not out of the hand just yet. I'm going to take my 5 and I'm going to jump it up to 60, turn my bets off. That'll pay us 84 on our next hit. Right? We're looking good. Looking for, so that was our first official hit on this hand. No, our second hit. I'm sorry, because we did hit the 6. Almost forgot about that. All right, so we are back to Brad's 6554. Just for the come out. So dice are moving. Next roll is, come on, work with me. 2 1 3. That's true way when people play People that play scared lose. So you have to have confidence. Oh yeah, yeah, no agree. Okay, so I got to pay them back a quarter. That's fine. That's for the 3. We'll mark it. Only thing we need are aces for the smalls, which we did not play. Not worried about it. Still early days for us here on the table. It's only what, our second roll? Third roll? Third roll. 6554 for Mr. Brad. Next toss. Oh, wait. Let me put that in, Crapsee. Thank you. Nobody yelled at me. Come on, guys, yell at me. All right. So that was a 1, 2, 3. Lost a quarter on the pass line. Let's go ahead and get our dice moving. Was that 220 inside? No, 110. 110. 110. 110 is where we started. I had, 110 with a quarter on the pass. Point was 6. Hit the 6. No, that was a 5. Point was 5. Let's mark that 5. Okay. And then now we're moving on to our second point. So no, it was 110 on the inside. All right, 6554. Dice are moving. Dice are out. 1, 2, 3 again. Wow. That really stuck too. So I got to pay another quarter. Damn it. Damn it, Jim. All right, let's go a little bit harder. Not too much because I like the spin on the dice. It's spinning really nice for us. 6554. Yeah, I mean, I've got perfect rotation. So I just need to go a little bit further. All right, dice are moving, dice are out. Next hit for us is, come on, nice easy toss all the way down. There it is. Frontline winner, 4-3. If I was 110 inside and I got an inside hit, I'll drop $5 and hop the inside easies. If that comes, that's 115 and I'm out of the hand on the second. Oh, wow. Okay, Badlands, I'm going to give this a go. I like this. All right, so let me go ahead and get this frontline winner paid. That's 7. It's also going to reset the counter, which we don't care about because we're not on it. All right, so Badlands says, if I was 110 on the inside and I got an inside hit, I'll drop $5 and hit and hop the inside easies. If that comes, that's 115 and I'm out of hand on the second hit. All right, so 110, that pays what? It pays 35, right? And he says he drops $5, so that gives me $40. He hops the inside easies. So that would be 510, 520, 530, 540. Yeah, okay. So the 5 through 9 inside easies, I could see that. Funny how a perfect looking roll ends up being 7s a lot of times. No, you're right, Brad. All right, let me put that $5 back. I think I'm going to give Badlands' little hot suggestion a shot. Okay, so let's go back to our roll. We're still on the come out, which means we're using Brad's 6554. Here is our come out roll. Hard 6. Oh, I forgot to push the button. I'm sorry, guys. Hard 6. 6 is the point. Now, so if the inside easy comes, that's 80 and down 35 is 115. Yep, okay, that makes sense. There's our hard 6. All right, so then what I'm going to do, Badlands, is I'm going to leave it just like this. Let's slide our dice down. I am going to go ahead and get my 50 down on my pass line odds because that's something that I am going to continue to do. Our point is 6. Dice are moving. So with a point being 6, I'm going to go 3, 5, 3, 1. 358. Okay. So that is an 8. That's going to pay us 35. Now, Badlands is saying drop a nickel. So I'm going to grab 5 red. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now he is saying hop the inside easy. 6, 2, 5, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2, 6, 3, 5, 4, 4, 1, 3, 2. Right? That's what we're looking at, Badlands. That was an 8. He can't see. Oh, yeah, he can see the hops. Good, 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 good. All right, so I got all my easies hopped on the inside. Those will all pay 15 to 1. 3, 5, 3, 1. Dice are moving. I've never really played with the hops like this before, so I'm really excited. Yes, and they cover the hard ways. And they cover the hard ways. Oh, yeah, with our place bets. Yeah. That is a 2, 3, 5. All right. Hey, look at that. All right. So on the 5, I had 60. So that's first and foremost, that's going to pay us $70. Right. Over here on the 2, 3, 5, 15 to 1 on a $5 bet pays us $75. Right. There's our 2, 3, 3, 2 right there. So the rest of them are gone. Right. Am I looking at this right? And then if I come down, that gives me 80 plus the 30. Yep, 35 pays us 115. Yep, okay, Badlands. I'm smelling what you're stepping in, and I like it. I like how that looks. All right, so I'll just. Wow, yeah, and you can essentially just keep doing that and building on it. Nice. All right. You know what? 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna give it a go. I'm liking this. Now you can go to 220 inside. Yep, that is true. That is true. 6, 2, 5, 3, 4, 2, 5, 1. 3, 2, 4, 1. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Oh, I need another quarter. There we go. Let's see, 6, 3, 5, 4. All right, I'm hopping all the insides for $10 now. I'm just going to increase it. Over here, I'm going to make my 5, I'm going to make it 90. So I'm racking 40. 5 is up to 90. Okay. I think I hear you, Badlands. I'm going to leave it just like this, just for the simple fact I want to get one more hit on these hops. Oh, and I never marked it on the Crapsee. I'm sorry, Clint. You're playing Crapsee, and I'm not keeping up with you. 2, 3, 5 was our hit. Okay. I like this. This is a different approach, Badlands, than I normally would go with. So I like the approach. All right, here we go. We're staying with the 3, 5, 3, 1. See, I like this. We're learning together, helping each other. This is what Craps is about, in my opinion. Here's our next toss. That's a hard 10. All right, I lose all my hops. That really stinks, but that's okay. And then if the inside numbers come, drop $10 and hop the inside for $80. Yeah. All right. That's $80 down the drain. It was fun while it lasted. We'll just mark the 10 and we'll go back to our regular programming. Our regular programming. Yeah, that's true. You're right. That is true. I only put in the $10. All right, here we go. Dice are moving. Dice are out. Let's stay with that, looking for that 6. Oh, that's a pretty throw. 369. That felt good. So that 9 is going to pay us 35. I'm going to make it 60. Actually, I messed up over here. Why did I make that 90? I mean, I can. I'll just leave it like that. Can't imagine why I put my 9 or my 5 at 90, but that's okay. That's not an off bet. That pays us, well, let's look at this 30, 30, 30, 30, 60, 90. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that works out. So, 30 would pay us 42, 41. No, 42. And so 42 times 3. Yeah, that works. You still have 7 out with the 6-5-5-4 because you switch sets every time. Yeah, because I'm using it as a come out roll. It seems to work pretty well as far as getting me an established number fairly quick. Although we did hit horns a couple times with them on the come out. So I don't know. Something we're going to continue to play with. I will say that. I don't like it for 6s though. So that's why I'm not using it. 6-1. We're done. We did we get out of the hand? We started off with 110, 135, 185. 1, 2, 3, 4, 150, 160, 75. Yeah, 75. 175. It was working when it was a come out. Yeah, wasn't a come out. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Brad. We'll go back to it, sir. Go back to the 110. So we lost $10 on that hand. I'm not fussed by that. Reset our ATS. Not going to play the ATS yet, just because I haven't had a long enough roll personally to really justify going ATS just yet. Okay. All righty, here we go. Dice are moving. We're staying with the 110 strategy just until we get some kind of movement. Let's go 3-5-3-1 just on the come out roll. That's a 2x4 6. Did I hit a hard 6 with it? I mean, if I did, I did. I'm not going to argue. 50 on the pass line odds. Leave it just like that. There's our 2x4 6. Mark it in Crapsee. All right, so we have a 6. Let's continue to work this down. So Brad's saying 6-5-5-4 through the entire roll. So let's do it. We're going to go 6-5-5-4. One, 3, 4. Doesn't hurt us, doesn't help us. It does mark it on the tracker and keeps things moving, though. All right. Let's show off those pearly whites. 3, 1, 4. So that is our first 4 we've seen on this new roll. So let's keep track of that. If I see it twice, I'll put a quarter on it. 6-5-5-4. Here's our next toss. That's a 3-4-7. Mmm. Mmm. Brad. I joke, Brad. I joke. Don't sweat it. I'm not upset. Okay. Let's change things up. Yeah, it's an ouch, but I mean that's craps. You're gonna have PSOs. Even the best shooters in the world are gonna hit a PSO. It's just the way the game is. I'm not fussed by it. Okay, I'm gonna ratchet things up a little bit. We got to make some money, right? I'm feeling confident now. That's for my pass line odds. That's for my field. That's true, Brad. I blame you. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. All right, come on, guys. Let's get a good roll here. I see 2 ones. Let's go with the one. We're just yaga. What do we get to come out? 3-4 frontline winner. We'll take it. Frontline winner is going to pay us $50. Now, that's an interesting question. Do you guys set up for your come out rolls or do you just chuck them down the table? I've seen people both ways. Some people that'll be like, I don't care what it is when I do the come out. Some people are like, no, I want to hit a specific point, so on and so forth. So I'm interested to hear what are your guys' feelings and thoughts about setting up on a come out, or do you just grab the dice and chuck them like that? It's a 6-3-9. All right, so let's take it, mark our 9 there and there. Now, with our pass line odds, I'm going to go with a hundo. And we're going to put a quarter on the field. You chuck your come out rolls? Yeah. All right. 9 is our point. 3, 5, 6, 4 is our dice choice. Here is our next toss. A 1, 4, 5. I like it. So let's collect on the 5. That's going to pay us $175, right? I'm just going to take it up to 200, and I'll put 100 in the rack. We're going to lose a quarter here, so I got to throw a quarter back in. Don't want to forget about that. Slide our dice down. 415 to start. I like it. Let's see if we can't get a repeater, right? But we're looking for a 9. So let's go 3, 5, 6, 4. Five, 1, 6. That's a mixer. We'll take it. That is going to pay us, again, $175. Now, I'm a little more aggressive on my 6s and 8s, mainly because I want to build those up as fast as possible to kind of help fuel the rest of the table. If you're not doing it, highly recommend it. So that was a 6, so I'm going to just make it 3. 4, 2, 5, 3 is good for 9s. Yep. I hear you, Brad. But I'm going to continue with my dice set for this roll because I'm feeling good about it. I like this combination of the 3 5s with the other dice set. 3, 5, 6, 4. That is, there's the 6-1. I want to throw that one more time. We'll wipe the table, but hold on. 3, 5, 6, 4. I've practiced with this die set so many times, it's not even funny. But I mean, like I mentioned earlier, the dice are going to do what the dice are going to do. You can't completely control them. We can just try to influence them. Yeah, and I felt immediately before I even released the die, or before I even started the swing, I felt what my problem was. All right. That was a grip issue. It was not a dice issue or a table issue or whatever you want to say. All right. Well, I took a bust. Yes, I was trying to be aggressive, but 4, 6, 8. There's a 10. There's 15. I'm just going to put all this back in the rack and I'm going to start over. So the thing about this is, and Brad, I'm not upset with your suggestions or anything by any means. Please don't think I am. But I think one of the big things that a lot of us as craps players may tend to forget is that we get wrapped up in the excitement on the table and get away from our systems and our strategies and our betting styles. Stay on them. It's fun to try the other things, but just stay on your plane. If you do what I told you to do with the hops, bro, it's going to help your game 100% because you're not looking for every number. You focus, okay? Try the Cassine set 4253 a few times. I will, Brad, off camera. I have no problem giving that a go. As a matter of fact, as a promise to you, I will go ahead and mark it down. 4253, 2, 5, and 3. These are Brad's sets. I will give them a go off camera. You know what, Badlands, I'm going to give your suggestion a go on it. I want to follow Badlands and what he is saying because he's got a lot of truth to his philosophy on how he does this. All right, here we go. 110 on the inside. Now, I've got a nickel ready for when I get that first hit, and then he says to hop the easies 5 through 9, and then use that to press your bets up to 220. So let's see what we can do here. Dice are moving. Come on, let's do this. Everyone's mechanics are different and change throughout the session. You definitely need to change sets to react to how your toss changes. Absolutely, Fuzzy. Could not have said that any better myself. All right, here we go. Come out roll. I am going to go with a 4-5-5-1 for this come out roll. And again, it's just my personal preference. It's not saying that one dice set is better than the other. It's just what I'm comfortable with. There's a hard 6 to start us off. So let's mark that hard 6. Now, we're going to do a Badlands set. We're going to come down here. We're going to get a hit, and then we're going to hop some easies. Okay, look to cover the hop. You can drop an extra 10. No, I can't yet because that was just the come out roll. Badlands, we'll get it on the next toss. I watch almost everyone lose every time I go to the casinos, and they can't figure out why I outcast them with smaller bankrolls and walk with a profit. Definitely use a set that targets anything other than the inside box numbers to use the inside easy hops. And you know, okay, I'm tracking along. I see what everybody's saying. Let's give it a go. All right. The point is a 6. 3-5-3-1 is my dice set of choice. Next roll. That's a 1, 2, 3. That's a good time to hit that, right? When we got a button on. So let's mark our 3. I forgot my $50 on my pass line odds. And I have nothing on the field because we're only at a quarter level. Let's just slide the dice down and roll again. Yeah. Okay, and now we can move our dice. 3, 5, 3, 1. Looking for that 6 or an inside hit. Doesn't matter. That is a 3, 6, 9. V sets are actually the worst sets to use to last long. Brad, I appreciate it. Thank you. That's a 9. Pays us 35. Now, we're going to drop that nickel, like Badlands said. So I've now got $25, $35, $40. We're going to hop the 3241. We're going to hop the 4251. We're going to hop the 5362 and the 5463. Right? Okay. Negative, maybe for your toss, not everyone's true. Very true. It depends on how well you are able to get your tosses in sync with each other when they are in rotation towards the table. 3-5, 3-1. Here's our next toss. That is 6-1. I think what my problem is I know exactly what it is, and I can't seem to catch it when I'm going to roll. So my problem is, and if you're looking at this camera right here where my dice are, let me turn the chat off of the screen so that you can see it, because I know exactly what my issue is. Okay, there we go. Now you can see it. So here's my dice. My problem is when I go to grab the dice, see how I've got them angled, right? My problem is that's how I tend to grab them. What I need to do is force myself to grab them like such so that they're more straight as opposed to at an angle. So if I can recognize that when I go to grab it, I should be able to alleviate my issues. So like if I grab it straight and I go to throw it, oh, I get it at 6. I kind of stuck my fingers. But that's my biggest problem is for some reason, when I go to grab, I grab it more at an angle. Maybe I need to move the dice over here to the left to force myself to grab them a little bit better. Yeah, see, that one felt better. Fuzzy, I know because I have 26 years experience with shooting and observing everyone's shot. Well, Brad, I can appreciate your experience and everything. Fuzzy has been around the block a time or two, does have his own sets of experiences to pull from, but regardless, I can appreciate everyone's points of view, everyone's philosophies, but this is one of those situations where we are coming together and working together, not working against each other. I want to make sure that that is said up front. Okay, so that's 7 dust out. Let's go ahead and wipe this off the table. Again, it's one of those things that I'm having to experiment with because I've never really utilized hops like this. And so I'm going to give it a go again. There is 110, right? And a quarter on the pass. We'll put $50 for our pass line odds, and then let me grab some quarters because I'm going to need it for when we go to hop. 4 and 5. There we go. Dice are down there. Let's give it a toss. For the come out, I'm going to go 4, 5, 5, 1. That is a 4-3 come out. 7. No, I'm not trying to be negative, Bob. It's just what I see all the time. And I'm, again, not disputing that. I just, yeah, I want to make sure that we're working together, if that makes sense. 3, 4, come out, Cookie. Let's roll again. Come on. 4, 5, 5, 1. And another nice thing about this, now that I've really been practicing with my left hand, is that if one of my hands just feel like I'm off, I can switch hands, which is, I can't tell you how beneficial that is. Because think about all the times that you're sitting there, you're throwing, and it's like, man, I just can't throw anything right. Well, now I can just switch hands and hopefully overcome that. All right, so our point is an 8 now. I'm going to give Badlands System a try, and see if we can't get some movement going. 3-5, 3-1. Here's our next toss. Remember, straight fingers. 2, 4, 6. Well, I mean, we'll buckshot it. Why not? Or no, the point's 8. Okay, so 35. Nickel, like Badlands said. So we'll put the quarter up here, grab 5 red, and we'll hop. That's the 3-1, 3-2. No, wait. 3-2, 4-1, 4-2, 5-1, 5-4, 6-3, 5-3, 6-2. Okay. Is that all? Is that our hops? 5-3, 6-2, 5-4, 6-3, 3-2, 4-1, 5-1, 4-2. Okay, yep. I got all my hops. Slide our dice down. So now I'm going to stay with the same dice set, 3-5, 3-1. Let's get a hard 6 right here. Why not? Hard 6. Nope, 6-2-8. That's the point. And it's an easy hit on top of that. All right, cool. So that's going to pay us 35. Now we hit the, what is that, 6-2-8? There it is right there. That goes down. That pays us 75. Plus we get the 80, the nickel back. So we've got 115. We're going to take it up to 210 like Badlands said. Right? I think I did that right, Badlands. Tell me if I did it wrong. Here's my only caveat to this, Badlands. Yeah, 220 is what I got. Here's my only caveat. Oh, I need to pay this over here real quick. 60 and a quarter. That pays me 90, or excuse me, 85. All right, here's my only catch to this system, Badlands. Don't get me wrong. Love the setup. Absolutely love the setup. Here's my thing. I got my money, but I'm still on the table. I didn't recoup any of it. So is this one of those situations that I leave it at 110, just collect the 110 off the table, and then wash, rinse, repeat? I'm going to try it. Not disputing. I just, because for me, that's 2 hits. I'm off the table. I can't argue with that. That's sound, reasonable logic. So let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and move off the table. And I've got an idea how I want to play this hand now. And I'm like excited. No, you could come down. You stay at 110. I'm just giving you another way to go up. Yep, no Badlands. But here's the thing. Now that I'm off of the table and I got bonus back here because I had that 50, I got something cooking, bro. Let's see if we can't cook. 3-5, 6-4 for the come out. Oh, you got my juices flowing, bro. You don't even know. I'm excited. All right, 4, 2, 6. 2 by 4 is 6. All right. Our point is a 6. Oh, I'm like, I got like goosebumps going. I'm excited about this thought. 3-5, 3-1. Looking for an inside hit. Hard 8. God dang it, that stuck. All right, that's going to pay us 35. Drop a nickel. Right? Don't change me. 440 inside with 2 hits and off. I would never do that, Brad. I do the 440 inside. I do the 2 hits, but I wouldn't go off. I'd continue. I regress. Don't get me wrong. I would regress, but I would still be in the hand. All right, here we go. 6-2-5-3, 6-3-5-4. 4251, 3241. Same exact thing we just did that got us out of the hand. We're going to do it again. God, that 8 was beautiful too. The way it just went up, spun, and just went like somebody stuck a magnet on. Shh, don't tell anybody. 3531. Let's get our next hit. That is, Cinco Dos. Damn it. I was so excited too. I really wanted to do that. Oh, damn it. All right, we're going to try again. Now that my wheels are turning, there's 100, there's 10, there's 25 for the pass line. We're all set. You got my wheels turning. I love it. Sidelands, that's why they go to the ATM. They don't know how to last at this game. No. I know how to last. Trust me, I've had plenty of opportunities to crash and burn. He kind of opened my eyes to something that I hadn't seen before. And so, yeah, I'm very excited to give this a go. All right. Coffee time? Yes. Everybody grab your cup of coffee. Get a nice sip. All right. 110 inside. Buttons off. I'm just going to yaga the dice. That's a 1, 2, 3. We'll mark that 3. You know what? I have not played the ATS once today. I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. A lot of times when I'm going to a table and I'm just playing like a random table, nothing specific, not meeting up with anybody or anything, a lot of times I won't even play the bonus unless I'm rolling. And I won't do it 314. I won't do it until I've at least had a double-digit roll, just on the, because I want to make sure that I'm not just throwing money away. Yes, ATS, most of the time you are throwing the money away, but at the same time, if you're not having any kind of an extended roll, why even push it? Everyone says they make money and they don't. No, that's true. I will admit, Brad, I've taken my lumps last year, but I also, I did okay for myself last year too. 3, 5, 1, 5. That's what I said. Here's our next toss. That's a 5, 6 yo. And like I said, when you on the hop, you could cover the hard 6 for $5 and the hard 8 for $5. You don't lose the hop. Well, here's the thing also, Badlands, is if you've got your 6 and 8 covered on the table itself, that's another $35. You only lose $5. So, I mean, it's not like just because you don't hit the hop, you're screwed. If you don't have the hard way and you don't hit the hop, you're screwed. Because I still have other bets out on the table that help me kind of hedge it in a sense instead of looking for that big hit, if you will. All right, that's a yo. Let's mark our yo. See, I'm saying all this out loud to you because I want you guys to understand my thought process on how I'm placing my bets. My grandfather moved out to Vegas and said he was winning every time he ended up losing 150,000 and maxed his credit cards out. Yeah, no, Brad, nobody's disputing that, and I'm not saying that I'm a perfect player by any way, shape, or form. I'm just telling you that yes, I did take lumps last year, but I came out way further ahead than I came out last year. And that's not me being conceited or me bragging. It's just saying I understand what I'm doing. And if I see a bad trend, get off the table. All right, here we go. 3, 5, 3, 1. Next roll. Looking for an inside hit. That is a 3, 5, 8. That is going to pay us $35. So there's 10 plus 5 red. That's 35. Drop them a nickel. Let's split them up. 6, 2, 5, 3. 5142 3241 5463. Perfect. We're all set up. Let's get that inside hit again. 3564. Damn, 6-1. I just can't get anything to string together. I mean, it's not like my dice are going out of whack. They're getting nice solid lands. I think what it is that stupid grip still. I need to work on that grip some more. All right, cool. So I got that wiped off the table. Let me clear that off. Okay, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 1. And quarter, and 50. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm done messing around. The release, bro. Yeah, no, you were exactly correct. It's the release. I can feel it because when I'm throwing one of my dice, it's almost like I'm pinching one harder than the other, and it just causes it to rotate faster. So I'm really trying to combat that. Again, I don't think it's so much about the release. I think it's about the grip. If you're throwing sevens a lot, then it might be time to switch to an all 7 set. No, Brad, I'm good with my set. I do appreciate it though. Stay out of the corner. Yeah, no, I'm trying to hit the KC. So that's what I'm going to do. There we go. 6-5, yo. That works. Like it. Love it. Want some more of it. 50. Racket. One thing I have noticed recently is controlling the velocity of my throw really has tamped down on the kickback, which is always a plus. All right, 3-5-3-1. Looking for a point. There we go. They kissed, but I got a 6, so I'll take it. Mark the 6. Slide it down. All right. What was I going to do? Oh, I remember what I was going to do. 50 on the pass line odds. No, you know what? I'm going to make it 100. That's what I got on. Yeah, okay, that's 7. That's right. All right, 100 on the pass line odds. I'm going to grab some red. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Put that there. 10 on the rack. And I'm going to go ahead and hop. 3, 2, 4, 1, 6, 3, 5, 4, 6, 2, 5, 3, 5, 1, 4, 2. All right, here we go. Not even going to wait for a hit because I'm playing at a higher level, so I'm going to continue to play with that. Yeah, that corner is tough when you're not using cross 6s. Yeah, it is. All right, 3-5, 3-1. Let's get an inside hit here. There we go. 2x4, 6. We'll take it. All right, that's the point. So that's going to pay us 120 on the backside. It's going to pay us 50 on the pass sign. That is going to pay us 175. So I'm just going to kick this up to 300 on my 6. Get a rack of a quarter. I'm going to take this 170 and rack it. Now over here, since it was a 2x4, 6, that's going to pay us $75. 2x4, 6. There it is. And we get the nickel back, so that's going to pay us 80, right? And I'm going to grab $30, and we're going to press. 150, 175, that makes 180, 330, and 150. Yeah? Yeah? I like it. It's a neat way to increase your bets 110 across. Coming in 300 on my table. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. We have a point of 6 going 3, 5, 3, 1. 6, 2, easy 8. We'll take it. That is going to pay us. All right, so first and foremost, 150 pays us 175, plus another 30 pays us 35. That pays us 210. I like it. Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to go ahead and jump it up to 300. And I get to rack $90. That's 2 hits. 2 hits. Doing good. Okay, so 25, 25. I'm going to bring those 30s back, those quarters back. That's going to bring $80 back into my rack. So we've got 125, 300, 300, 125, 50 on the pass line, 100 on the pass line odds, and we are looking for a 6. We are sitting in a decent position at the moment. Let's see if we can't get that 6. Remember, straight fingers, no angles. Firm, but not death grip. And aim for right at the KC. To the left a little, but it gives us a 5-1-6. There's our point. See, this is what I'm talking about. Relax. Slow the game down for yourself when you're throwing, and good things can tend to happen. All right, so we've got 120 on the backside here, plus another $50 on the front side. This is going to pay us $350. So what I'm going to do, get 4 quarters. I'm going to press 6 and 8 both up to 450, rack the 50, and all of this back here. So how much have we racked here currently? So there's 300, 4, 5, 6, 25, 655, right? And we started off with 4, 5, 6. We're out of the hand. And 3 hits. We're out of the hand. Right? What do you think, Badlands? Do you like that little system? I did sprinkle in that little hot bet there. Got me an extra $80, which kind of helps me push over the edge to get out of the hand faster. So, hey, I appreciate that. Okay, here we go. We're still in this hand. We are officially out of this hand. So now let's see if we can't book a win. Let's go. Nice. Exactly, Bob. You have to play loose and not overthink your rolling in bets. Yeah, no, and that's one thing that I've really been trying to celebrate all your good wins, even though it's a $30 win. Hey, yeah, all right. No, I'm not like that. I'm like, yes, all right. I got the hits. Let's look for the next one. Let's keep moving forward. Stay positive. Stay loose. Have fun. If you can't stay loose and have fun while you're playing craps, why are you even playing? All right, 3, 5, 3, 1 is our next cut. No, 3, 5, 6, 4. I'm sorry, we're on the come out. Let's see what we can get here. At the 5, 3, 8. We'll take it. 5, 3, 8. All right, so we hit the 6 last hand. So let's make sure we mark that 6. Grab our dice. So far, looking good. 8's the point. I'm going to stay on that 3, 5, 3, 1. Almost forgot. I want to get money on my pass line odds. Now, I was hitting 8 pretty decently last time, so I'm going to put 200. That'll pay us 240 when it hits, plus $50 on the front side. We almost make $300 when that 8 hits. Next toss. Oh, no, straight fingers. Gotta remember that, straight fingers. Looking for the KC. That's a 415. I'm feeling so much better with this release, getting those fingers down further down on the dice. All right, I'm going to make that 300. Just jump it straight up to 3 because we're looking to get off of the hand as fast as possible. And once you get out of the hand, then you can just press. So let's have some fun with it. Let's see where we can go. The next 5 that hits, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and cover my 4 and 10 with it. That's my plan. 3, 5, 3, 1. Here comes our next throw. Straight fingers. Remember, stay relaxed. Have fun. Badlands, where are you at, bro? There is box cards. It's because you're more relaxed and not pushing the dice. Yeah, no, and you're right. It is. That has a lot to do with it. But I've also noticed that by moving my fingers down a little bit, they don't feel like I lose. I don't lose control with them as much. And I'll show you what I mean here on this screen. All right. So typically what I would do beforehand is I would try to grab up here at the top as much as possible to cause a flip, to flip it more. But now what I'm doing is I'm actually bringing my fingers down further. So it's down about halfway. It's making contact with the dice about halfway down, even though it looks like it's extended further. They're only touching it about halfway down. And then what I do personally is I use my pinky to push in this way. And then I use my finger to push down on this top right corner. And that causes it, with a push here and a push here, it causes it to hold together. And then I use my fingers and my thumb to just hold it in place. Now, there's no actual squeezing. If I was to just relax my hand, they fall right out. There's no squeeze. It's just holding them in place like such. That's what I do. Here we go. Looking for our next roll. That is, hold on. I'm re-rolling that. We're going to wipe the table, but I'm re-rolling that. 3, 5, 3, 1. It's because I got to talking and wasn't paying attention and my fingers got stuck to the dice. Yeah, see, there it is. R10. We'll take it. All right, let's wipe the table. I'm going to re-roll. We did get out of the hand, so I mean, I'm not upset by any means. But yes, I wish I could have continued that roll because we were on movement, or moving in the right direction, I guess I should say. All right, here we go. Reset all this. I'm still not going to play the ATS. There's no sense in it. 1, 1, 1, 1. 50, quarter, 50, quarter, 50. And move all these nickels back. There we go. That's for my pass line odds. Let's roll. Well, and see, to be honest with you, Brad, when I very first started playing craps, I thought you had to squeeze them together. I was exhausting the hell out of my hand when I first started playing craps because I wanted that perfect throw, not realizing that you don't have to squeeze. It's more about controlling versus forcing them. And once I got that in my head, everything kind of just started to click for me. 3, 5, 6, 4 on the come out. The button is off, guys, just so you know. 5, 6, yo. We'll take that front line winner. Turn our puck off. That's going to pay us $50. Take your dice. Show off the pearly whites. There's your yo. Slide down, go again. I'm really liking this 3, 5, 6, 4 for whatever reason on the come out. It's not random. I just like hitting 9s for some reason. I can't put a finger on it. Two, 4, 6. We'll take it. There's our 6. Now we'll put 100 on the pass, and I'm going to put a quarter on the field. Right? Yeah? Are you guys okay with that move? Let's go. 6 is our point, so we're going 3, 5, 3, 1. 4, 1, 5. And I'll tell you why I don't put my pointer finger, index finger on the outside of the die instead of I put it on the top. And it's because, hold on a second. Let's take this up to, yeah, we're going to take it up to 300. Yeah. So as I was explaining, why do I not put my index finger on the outside of the die? Because I find myself squeezing. And so that forces me not to squeeze when I'm throwing as much, because when I go like this, I tend to squeeze my ring or my index finger or my pinky too much, and it causes the dice to go come out like such. So as they're throwing, they'll start to throw and go wonky on me. That's why I don't do that. I use the index finger on the top to hold them in place. Next toss. See, like that one went a little wonky on me. I don't know if you guys could see that or not. I'm going to watch it back on my replay on my TV. Yeah, you couldn't really see it on there. My right die went wonky on me because I didn't hold it in place. All right, so that's the adios for us. Look, guys, we didn't have a good session here on the table. More so, it was just talking about processes, dice control, gripping our dice, handling our dice, throwing our dice. More importantly, that's one thing that people still don't realize is when you have the dice, and even if I'm sitting way back here, right, it's still just an easy, gentle toss down to the end of the table. You don't have to throw like a muscle man. You don't have to force it onto that back. And it's best when it hits the table about an inch to 2 inches away from the table. So if you can conceivably hit where those dice are sitting right there, that's a good spot, because what will happen is it will hit, bounce, and come right back down. And if you do it with, yeah, no, absolutely, Brad. If you can do it and hit that spot consistently, and then on top of that, with just enough force that it just hits the wall and comes back down, you find yourself able to control those dice. And that's what we're talking about when you talk dice control. Dice influencing is basically setting your dice and getting them to land on a favorable position. So needless to say, yes, it is practice. Yes, we are working together. And this is why I use Coffee and Craps, or why I created Coffee and Craps, because I want to talk with you guys, and I want to get your feedback, and I want to understand how you guys play craps better. We're only going to get better if we learn from each other and have some fun while we're doing it. Now, tonight, do not forget, we are playing some LFC with Trey. We'll be meeting up with him tonight at 8 o'clock and see if we can't have some fun there. It's all about practice, just getting ourselves in a position to have some fun and hopefully get some wins when we go out to Iowa here at the end of the month. All right, so I have enough. I'm going to do one last roll. We're going to go 110 on the inside, quarter on the pass line. Badlands knows what time it is. There's a nickel waiting. I got enough red there that I could put 50 on the pass line too. So let's have some fun. 4, 5, 5, 1 is our come out roll. Let's grab all our dice. I like the 2 5s. Let's grab those. 4, 5, 5, 1. Here we are. Nice and straight. Come out cookie. That's going to give us a quarter. I'm just going to stack it right on top. There's our cookie. Let me get my 2 quarters ready. Oh, I got 3 quarters. Perfect. I like it. All right, let's continue on. Stay with the 4-5-5-1. I play the short game at the casinos. I get in and out as quick as I can with every shooter. No, Brad, that you should have that philosophy with every person that is at the table, even yourself, because like Badlands had said, quicker you get off the table, the quicker you can start pressing your money to get those big wins. Or I should say pressing the casino's money. 2-3-5. Awesome. And it's a great philosophy to have, Brad. Don't get me wrong. There's our 50 on the back. Grab our dice. Slide it down. So 5 is our point. We're looking for an inside hit. I'm going to stay with that 3-5-6-4. Here we are. No, I don't like that grip. See, I'm starting to pay attention to my grip a little bit better. Didn't like that one either. There we go. That feels better. Oh, that was a perfect spot. Did you see where that hit on the table? Watch where that hit. That was exactly what I'm talking about. See how I just bounced up and hit and then came right back? That's what you want. It was probably a little bit stronger than I wanted, but still a good roll. Slide our dice down. Let's try again. 3-5-6-4. Nice and straight, nice and easy. Hold our dice in place. Let's aim for that right behind that KC. Oh, a little too hard. 5-1-6. But see how they didn't shoot back to me? It's because I'm not throwing too hard. 35. Drop a nickel, right, Badlands? Three, 2, 4, 1. 5, 4, 6, 3. 6, 2, 5, 3. 5, 1, 4, 2. Here we go. Looking for an inside hit. 3-5-6-4. Five, 4, 9. I like it. Exactly. Even though it's not my money, it still irritates me watching everyone leave their bets out there until the 7 comes. And then they shake and scratch their heads trying to figure out why they are losing. Yeah, no. And I mean, all rolls in the same, right? All right, so there's 35. Over here, it's going to pay us 75. We're going to take everything down. I do get a nickel back, so it's 80. That makes 115 that we just made. I'm going to rack this. We are almost out of the hand. Because we have, what is that, 160 total? 10, 50, 100, 25, 140. So we're not in the hand for too much. Let's take another roll. Right? The only downside to this, Badlands, is I don't like not being able to press up my numbers. But if I'm pushing and I'm hitting 100 every time in 2 hits, I mean, I guess I really can't complain too much. 3-5-6-4. That's a 4-5-9. You know what? I actually have an idea about this, Badlands. You know those players that just all they do is collect the whole time? This is actually a really good strategy for those players that like to sit there and collect. No pressing. Because I just collected. I added a nickel. Right? I mean, hear me out on this. Am I thinking incorrectly on that? For a person who likes to just sit there and collect, I just added a nickel bet, and yeah, I mean, especially if you're the person throwing and you're confident in your throws, I'd say go for it. Straight, nice easy grip. Looking for the KC right behind it. Nice easy toss. There we go. Oh, God, that was beautiful, too, and it felt good. and then that happens. All right. Well, we did get out of the hand. I mean, almost completely out, but that kind of hurt us right there. Needless to say, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming out, giving me some comments, suggestions, complaints, whatever we want to call it. Be sure to check us out tonight. We're going to be at 8 o'clock with Trey doing some LFC. I'm pretty sure, let me think, Clint will probably be there. Badlands might be there. I'm not sure if he's still on the stream with us. Would love to see him there. Would love to get Waylon sometime on an LFC and just have some fun with that. But we will see you tonight here at 8 o'clock. 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Tuesday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We're also doing our LFC here. And I'm getting closer, guys. I do apologize. I've been working on some things here behind the scenes and getting some more videos out. I just have a couple things I'm trying to get finalized so that I can move forward with them here going forward. Guys, it's been a fantastic day. I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with me. And in the meantime, we'll see you tonight. Have a fantastic